Hello everybody, this is my not so definitive VR headset review in 6 to 9 minutes. Let's talk about headsets.
3, 2, 1, flight toss.
Now, full disclosure, Pimax and Bigscreen all sent me these as review. They are not compensating me for the review. However, if you use the promo code or the link in the description, I do get a commission on the Pimax stuff. So if you do buy, the link is in the description. But this is my honest review, having flown in DCS, Microsoft Flight Sim, and iRacing. So I've been very fortunate to have different manufacturers send me headsets, from Pimax to Bigscreen with their Beyond 2E. And I've tested them all. And I'm not really a full-time gamer, but I do enough flight sim stuff and racing sims. So I figured we would talk about the various ones that I've tried. Most recently, Pimax has sent me the Dream Air, and this is the Slam version, which means it has inside-out tracking. I also have the Lighthouse version, which I've tested both of them. Of the two, believe it or not, I prefer the Lighthouse version, and that's because in DCS, I think it works a little bit better. It might be in my head, but it feels like you get more frame rates because the system's not trying to figure out where it is. As long as you have the lighthouses set up appropriately, it works really well. As far as the headset in general, they're both the same as far as specs. They both have the same field of view. They weigh about the same. I think the Lighthouse version might be a tad lighter, but if you go with the Slam version, you don't need lighthouses, which previously I hated. And if you want something that's just plug and play and ready to go, this is the one you want. It is OLED, very sharp screens, not quite the resolution of the Pimax Super, but a very good display. And what you're really getting is a weight reduction. This thing is super light, super comfortable. The strap, it takes a little bit getting used to, an adjustment, but once you get it, I wish it were a little bit more supportive, but other than that, it's pretty good. The views are great. The performance is great. It's a very good headset. So didn't do an individual review on this. I figured we would talk about them all together. So let's start. I didn't bring one out because actually Doug is borrowing it right now. The Pimax Crystal Light is your basic entry level headset. It's going to be around $800-900, and it is pretty much your do-it-all headset. It doesn't have eye tracking or anything like that, but if you're just trying to get into the space, it's a very good value headset. When you start talking about the higher end stuff, that's where you get into these three. And it really depends on what you're trying to do. The Pimax Crystal Super has the swappable engine, and that can be anything from the 50 ppd, the 57, or the ultra wide. I've talked about this in a previous review. I think kind of the sweet spot is either the 50 or 57. I think the ultra wide, it doesn't perform as well, and I don't think you notice the ultra wide as much as you lose in performance. The Bigscreen Beyond 2E, I've also reviewed. It's the lightest headset you can buy, period, dot. It does get a little warm, and I do think the headphones are a little janky, especially for what you're paying for it. But it's one of those things that it works out of the box. It uses Steam VR. The performance is great, and it's a super light headset. So if you're talking like me, where you've got neck problems, or if you just want something that's not going to feel heavy on your face after a long time, this is the headset for you. And this is more supportive than this, although it still weighs less. So you get this one, you adjust this. I wish this had this. The Pimax Dream Air, however, is probably your best bang for buck out of all of them. And if I'm picking a daily driver, this one's it. It's 110-degree field of view. It's got higher resolution than the Bigscreen Beyond, and the performance loss is not that significant. It is a very good headset. I've tried it in both iRacing and in DCS. Now, I was talking about the performance reduction in the tracking versus Lighthouse versus Slam. That only is in DCS. The iRacing, you have no such problem. So they're pretty much the same performance no matter which one you get. Overall, if I'm ranking them, the Pimax Dream Air is number one because, well, it's light, it has amazing visuals, and I think it's your best bang for buck on there. Number two would be the Bigscreen Beyond. It's lighter than the Pimax, but not quite as good of visuals. and I don't really care for Steam VR. I do now that Pimax has finally updated their software. It's much better and much easier and performs much better. So I think this would be the solid number 2. This headset, I really don't know why you would want it in 2026 when these two exist. The only thing I can think of is, one, you legitimately want to simulate wearing a helmet or wearing night vision goggles, because this weight will make you have a stronger neck just like you would in a jet from pulling G's. And it'll simulate more of what you'd feel in a jet pulling G's because it's heavier. However, I guess wider screen, which again, I don't really notice. I mean, you do feel like a little bit you're looking through a soda straw, but it's not something that is insurmountable. You do get used to it, and eventually you don't even notice it anymore. So this has the widest screen with the best resolution of them all. And if that's what you want with the DMAS, you're going to get the best visuals and audio of all of them at the expense of weight. For me, if I'm going to sit any kind of time in the sim, I want lighter weight. So this one's out as far as the comparison goes. You can't go wrong no matter which way you go. For the lightest headset, Bigscreen Beyond. For the compromise, the one that's going to do it all, I think it's going to be this one because it's light. It's got a great crisp visual and the performance is still good. And the microphone sounds good and the audio sounds good. And you don't have all the extra stuff, nor the stuff kind of falling apart. I think they have upgraded this though eventually. And then this one, if you just want the absolute best as far as visuals and audio and you don't care about weight. And then the Crystal, if you're just getting into it and you want something that is going to work and doesn't have the eye tracking or any of that stuff. So that is the 6 to 9 minute review. Let me know in the comments what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.